What's up, guys? We're back. And sorry for the first video. I know it was kind of sloppy, but we'll work our way back up there. So we didn't formally introduce ourselves in the first podcast, so let us introduce ourselves. I'm Samuel Maya. I'll be one of the hosts of this podcast.
I'm Chris, and I'll be another host of this podcast.
And I'm Derek. I'll be another side host to this podcast.
All right, so the host of this stream will be Christopher Andrade. So here you go, Chris.
All right, so like our first topic of this podcast will be our top free agencies of quarterbacks. Number one, our first one. Let's start with Russell Wilson. There's a lot of talk right now about Russell Wilson. Derek. Derek knows. No, there's a lot of talk about Russell Wilson not wanting to come back. Doesn't want to be with Pete Carroll no more. So, Derek, how do you feel about this? And where do you think he'll land? Or do you think he'll still stay in Seattle?
I mean, everyone has their own opinion about what's going to happen with him. I mean, for me, I became a Seattle fan because of Pete Carroll. He's, one of my favorite coaches from college football. And we'll talk about college football coming up pretty soon. But, yeah, he's one of my favorite coaches that I ever coached at USC. So when he went to the NFL, I was like, I'll follow him. And I feel like if Russell Wilson doesn't want to be on a team with Pete Carroll, then grant it to him, wish him luck, whatever he chooses, that's his path, but he's an amazing quarterback. He won a Super Bowl, should have been 2, granted, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know where he's going to go because there's a lot of speculation of different places. But I think one thing that caught my eye was an article I saw today that, the Commanders, how weird does that sound? They're willing to trade Chase Young for him. And I love Chase Young, even in college. I watched him play in college and, as a rookie in his first 2 years, I like the way he plays defense. He reminds me of Aaron Donald a lot, and his future is really bright. So I wouldn't mind having him on the team coming to Seattle with us. But like I said, I don't know where Russell Wilson's going to go. It's all, day by day. And, whatever happens, it happens. I'm fine with either one of the players. I think they're both great.
No, yeah. So I also saw another article on ESPN. So cite our sources,
Citations.
Citation.
Citations.
I also saw another one. I don't know what you want to feel about this. I know you're a Seattle fan here. So, what do you think about Chicago trading Justin Fields for Russell Wilson? How would you feel about that?
Oh, shoot. Justin Fields is a really good quarterback as well. I watched him in college too. I'm a big college football fan. And I was actually at his, like I said, the last, I don't know if it got recorded because the audio or, the film got lost, but I watched him play or score his first touchdown in the professional level, got NFL, I was at that game and he shows a lot of promise and, having a young quarterback and, if we can get him on the right path and build our team around him, I think that could be a really strong team. Like I've said previously, having those core players and building around them is all a team needs to be great. I really like Justin Fields. That would be an amazing pickup for the Seahawks, I believe.
All right. Another quarterback that a lot of people have been talking about too, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, Chris. That's your guy.
I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan. At this point, I'm honestly ready to let go of Jimmy G. He was a good quarterback for us and everything, but I feel like we need to move on from him. But let's start with Sammy. Sammy, what do you think where he's going to end up?
No, yeah, watching the 49ers, watching Chris stress about, oh, Jimmy G sucks, Jimmy G this, Jimmy G that. But, at the end of
it's a love-hate relationship.
Love-hate relationship, So I'm pretty sure that's with a lot of 49er fans, the love-hate relationship with Jimmy G, especially in that last game that's possibly his last game as a 49er, and the last play as a 49er is going to be the interception, like him falling under pressure from Aaron Donald and that Super Bowl winning defense, getting to Jimmy G and throwing that pick. And, it is what it is now. We're going to see what happens with him, because it looks like he's going away. From all the sources, it sounds like he's going to go away. I don't know where he would go. I don't know where he'd fit. Some picks that I want to hear your side of it. What do you think? What kind of picks? I've been hearing Tampa Bay a lot. I've been hearing a lot of the East Coast. I've been hearing a lot of he might stay in the NFC. That's bad for the San Francisco because you never want to trade a player to the same conference. You want to get him out of that conference, get him out of the NFC, put him in the AFC. So I heard the Buccaneers. So what do you think, Derek? What do you think? What other teams that you think that are willing to trade for Jimmy G and what he can produce for their team?
To be honest, I really, Jimmy G was mostly like he was a quarterback I pay attention to on the week we'd play San Francisco. I've watched him. He tears it up. Well, he tore it up a little bit regular season, but like you said clearly, like it was a love-hate relationship that I saw Chris go through, with Jimmy G. I know he has a Jimmy G jersey back at home.
That was a long time ago when he first came in because I was already tired of all our freaking backups and everything. But
Yeah, no, but he's a promising quarterback. I don't know where to see him. Granted, I would like to see him go to the AFC, not have to worry about him. But as far as his future goes, I'm not too sure about it. I mean, personally, for me, I think the reason he stood out so much was that he had playmakers for him. I don't see him as such a promising quarterback like you see the great quarterbacks like Tom Brady and, Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that. I feel like Jimmy G had an entire team around him that made him look good. No offense to Jimmy G, but I think, those playmakers are what made him have those stats and have all that. You have a guy like Deebo Samuel on the team. You have certain key guys who can do everything. Of course, the stats are going to look great, Kittle too, yeah. I mean, I would like to see him go to the AFC, but as far as his future goes, I don't know. He'd have to show up a lot more than he did these last couple of seasons, especially with a new team with not as much. If he gets to a different team that doesn't have as many playmakers, I think he's going to struggle, to be honest.
yeah, and I totally agree with you guys both. Jimmy G, I think he's very injury prone because he's every year there's always something wrong with him. It's always his ankle, it's always his knee. It's always something. He was playing injured throughout the whole entire postseason. I get, he played through it and whatever, but there's a lot of times where he always missed open wide receivers. You know, in that first playoff game against the Cowboys, Brandon Ayuk wide open. Same thing against the Packers. There's a couple receivers he left wide open. Even the first drive against the Rams in the NFC Championship, he had George Kittle wide open down the middle, overthrew him. But I'm hoping he does not go to Tampa Bay. I'm hoping he either goes to Miami, goes with the offensive coordinator that they just signed from San Francisco. I personally do not want him back in the NFC because he knows everything basically about our team.
Mhm.
And I'm just hoping he goes somewhere to the AFC, and I'm hoping he does good. But I'm not going to be rooting for him any longer.
Yeah.
Once he's gone, it's
Hey,
going
what
to
are you
be
doing
Trey.
with the
It's going to
jersey?
be Trey
What are you
last
doing with the
season.
jersey? What are you doing with the jersey? We got to know.
I don't know. I think I'm just going to give it to my sister. She's a whole freaking Jimmy G fan, I guess. So
Ah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. All right. So another quarterback that has been a lot of talk. He just got traded last season. It's barely been a year. He's with the team. Carson Wentz. Where do you think
Ooh.
he's gonna go? There's a lot of talk right now about him, not gonna be with Indy no more. They're thinking they're gonna trade him most likely, or what? He's a free agent now.
No, he's
No, they're gonna trade him. They're gonna get someone else. Derek, let's go back to you. Where do you think Carson Wentz is gonna land, or what team do you think he might be good for?
Um, See, I think Carson Wentz is a really good quarterback. Granted, he had one decent receiver, and this season he had one decent receiver, and it was Pittman. He was his main guy, and I think he didn't have the protection that he needed, throughout the season. But I watched a couple YouTube videos and a couple ESPN, clips, and he had some passer ratings that were even higher or even the same as like Patrick Mahomes and who else did he? I think it was like Derek Carr or something like that. His passer rating was decent, and I think it was just the team he had around him. And if they want to trade him, then I don't know what team he'll go to be honest, but I know they'll be a lucky team because if he's on a team that has that protection for him and lets him be the quarterback that he has the potential to be, he's going to be a great quarterback. I think he can make a playoff run on a decent team. I think he has a big opportunity to do that.
yeah. I'm gonna go off a limb here. I don't know why would Indy, they have a quarterback in their hands. They have a quarterback there. I get if they're in a salary cap situation, but what team isn't? You look at teams that are at the bottom. How lower can they go? And I think honestly, I don't know why Indy shouldn't re-sign him. I don't think it should be a situation where Oh, he had one bad season, like, but if you look at his film, he didn't really have an O-line. He really didn't. Who did he really have? It was Nelson, right? Their guard, Quentin
Yeah.
Nelson. He's the only standout out of that whole O-line, And no, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't see a reason why you should trade him. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He has a Super Bowl ring for a reason. Before Nick Foles won him that Super Bowl, Carson Wentz carried them for a decent amount of that season.
Till he got hurt.
I'm not trying to backtrack, because that was what, a couple years ago when Brady was still with the freaking Patriots. So I'm not gonna try to backtrack on that or nothing, but he has a Super Bowl ring for a reason. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback for a reason. Even though Nick Foles was that quarterback for that Super Bowl, what says that Nick Foles carries them to the Super Bowl by themselves? Because that was a team that was a 1-2 quarterback punch.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. They had their off days. And I don't see. I would be upset if I was Carson Wentz. You have a great running back, the top running back. Even though Derrick Henry was gone most of this past season, Jonathan Taylor stepped up for him. I think Indy should re-sign him. Pick up their contract. Don't trade him. Pick up that contract that I think it's only 16 mil. What you sign a quarterback, go into the draft looking for another weapon for him. Why not?
Or
You
even
have
protection. Or
Yeah,
even
give him
protection for him.
protection. Give him protection. Give him a couple more weapons because that wide receiver T.Y. Hilton wasn't T.Y. Hilton this year. Usually T.Y. Hilton is top of the fantasy, leaderboards. And he's usually carrying that team on his back before Pittman came. And Pittman had a great year. That was his strike. And I think you can't take away that chemistry from Pittman. Now you have to learn a whole new quarterback style, built that chemistry for Pittman. And I don't see why Indy should trade him. There's no reason to. Carson Wentz is a winning quarterback.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna hop off that too. I don't feel like one season defines a quarterback. Every player has that one off season, no matter who it is. I think it was too quick to judge on him that hard, so harshly. I say if Indy could give him one more year and they can this coming up draft, if they can give him protection or another weapon, he has a potential to do some great things, just give him another opportunity.
And then also, I don't know why Indy would trade for him, right? Waste all those draft picks for him and, whatever they gave him. I don't know exactly what they gave him for Carson Wentz, but how do you just depend on that for 1 year? You trade him away and you trade all those draft picks and you're like, he's not that good. So let's draft him away. When you traded for him, you saw potential. So there's no reason why you should give that away.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you guys all. Carson Wentz is a really, really good quarterback. His O-line was basically hurt throughout the whole entire season, and it sucks for COVID rules too, because a lot of COVID protocols, a lot of players were out.
Yeah.
Like you guys said, he didn't really have a lot of weapons. Jonathan Taylor basically carried that whole entire team. Without that strong running game, without Jonathan Taylor, that offense really would have never been, really, really good, because that offense was really, really good.
They're 1 win away from the playoffs.
Exactly. But like I said, like you guys said, Carson Wentz is a really, really good quarterback. I agree with you guys both, and I don't see why Indy should be trading him or giving him away. This next quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot of saying that he might stay with the Packers, but at the beginning of last season, he wasn't showing up to OTAs, he wasn't showing up to early practices like what he did before. He took his time to come back and everything. He was questioning about even playing with the team. So, you guys think that Green Bay is going to re-sign Aaron Rodgers? And if he doesn't, where do you think he will go?
I can start off with this. Aaron Rodgers, he's Aaron Rodgers for a reason. 4-time MVP, I think it should have only been 3. But, granted, he has 4. He has 4 under his belt. He makes the statements. And, I mean, honestly, so what if he misses OTAs? Does he really need to be there? He's been in that team for so long.
Yep.
It shouldn't be that big of a thing for the teams to point out. He's Aaron Rodgers. He took you guys to the playoffs, how many years in a row?
They were NFC Championship game for like 4
exactly
years in a row.
Exactly. He's Aaron Rodgers. This guy, he's been on the team so long. we've been through OTAs. If you're a veteran, you already know the playbook. You don't need to show up. What does that even matter?
Yeah.
And I mean, if Aaron Rodgers really doesn't like what's going on upstairs with the Green Bay Packers, then kudos to him. He should leave. But if I'm the Packers right now, I'm doing everything in my possibility to keep him with Green Bay. Keep him there. He's a franchise quarterback.
Still has a couple years with them.
No, yeah,
Exactly.
He has a couple
exactly.
years left.
And earlier ESPN, I think we were all together. We saw that they re-signed his quarterback coach that won that championship.
Yeah, he was retired for a bit too.
Yeah, he was, and he came out of retirement. Green Bay pulled him out of retirement. And like they said, it's a good step. It's a good step. And honestly, in my opinion, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. He has that Super Bowl for a reason. Granted, I think he should have probably one more. I think he should have two. All those chokes in the NFC, that wasn't all him. That was his coaching. Bad play calls, or whatever. I don't know what it was. I'm pretty sure it was bad coaching because Aaron Rodgers, he's a grade A quarterback for a reason. And, I would hate to see him leave Green Bay because that would hurt, that would put Green Bay in another situation where they're like, man, we had two great quarterbacks in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and they wanted to leave. They wanted to leave this organization, and it sucks. And honestly, if I was the Green Bay Packers, I would do what the Rams did: buy in, trade everything away, for you can make Aaron Rodgers happy. Give him another championship. He deserves it. Sign back whoever he wants. Put him in that trade room or that draft room when they're drafting, or have a talk with him. It's not that hard to have a talk with him and be like, hey, what do you need? As our franchise quarterback for so many years, what do you need? What do you want us to do or you can stay? Dude, I think that's a great foot that they brought him back his quarterback, his quarterback coach. That's great. That's a great, perfect step for him. And honestly, they need to resign Devontae Adams because if they don't sign him back, I think they lose him.
No, I think Devontae follows Aaron Rodgers wherever he goes.
No,
their chemistry is so good.
I honestly do too.
Yeah, no, I like you were saying, dude. I think the Packers need to do anything in their power. Especially pointing out, get him in there. Look what the Bengals did with Joe Burrow in the draft. They asked him who he wanted. He told them who they wanted, and they got him. Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They got him. Look what happened. Super Bowl. It all clicked. It all went together. If you can make your quarterback happy and comfortable, and granted the Bengals put faith into, a second year quarterback, but it's Aaron Rodgers. If you can make him happy and get him the weapons that he wants, and you could try to do anything in your power that team's going to be great. And if the Packers aren't willing to do that, then they don't deserve Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers can go wherever the hell he wants. But if they really want to keep him, they're going to do whatever they need to do to keep him in Green Bay.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys pointed out a lot of good facts about Aaron Rodgers, and you could say this year, I know you didn't want him to be the MVP this year. I'm pretty sure you wanted Cooper Kupp, but
definitely.
But if you look at his QB ratings, and his stats were freaking outstanding.
We're not going to get into this right now, Chris. Cooper Kupp deserved it, and that's the bottom line. We're not getting into this.
But we're going to talk about his ratings.
Talk about Aaron Rodgers all you want, but don't bring up MVP because I feel like Cooper Kupp deserved that.
Well, the MVP here, Aaron Rodgers. Okay, that's what we're talking.
Yeah. Go ahead, continue. Whatever. Go on. Talk.
All right. Well, his stats were outstanding. You could say that. He was better than every other quarterback this year. He had freaking outstanding yards, touchdowns, was leading in them. He had the fewest amount of picks. He was honestly a really, really good quarterback this year. And how you guys pointed out is put him in that draft room when, during the draft, get him the players he wants, get him the receivers, because Devontae Adams is the only one he basically has. You can't always, they have a great chemistry. You can say that, but at the same time, you're gonna need other players too. And without him being in that draft room and without him, getting the players that he wants, he's not gonna be happy. He's not gonna feel comfortable wanting to be there. He's not gonna want to play for your team if you're not gonna even include him for anything. And that's what the Packers did last season. And there was a lot of ups and downs with him. He didn't even play the first game last season. Just because of it. Most likely, there's a lot of different things going on. But I think Aaron Rodgers should stay in Green Bay. I don't want him to stay in Green Bay because there, we're most likely going to see him again.
Definitely.
But I think Green Bay should keep him, do whatever they can to keep him, especially and Devontae Adams, and get him the weapons he needs. And if you get him the weapons he needs, I think we'll see Green Bay in the NFC Championship next year. Maybe the Super Bowl. You never know. But Aaron Rodgers should stay in Green Bay. All right. This other quarterback I want to bring up is there's a lot of question about if he's coming back or not. I'm not sure if you guys heard a lot about him, but a lot of his social media with his team has been taken off, and they're questioning about his leadership with the team. Do you guys think Kyle Murray will come back to the Cardinals?
Okay. Kyler Murray, he's a decent quarterback, and we talked about him, the last podcast, and he's a midseason quarterback. I don't feel like he has the
agree with me. You agree
Oh, yeah,
with me.
definitely. Well,
You
we're in the
agree
same
with me.
division, bro. We're in the same division. I have to agree with some of the things you say if they're true, but Kyler Murray is not in a position to be able to feel like he's going to be able to play the cards. He's not in the position to where, he feels like he can do this or he can do that. You get me? I don't think he's that good of a quarterback yet. And granted, if it's the team, letting him know and he's deleting and being, all Mr. Fifi or whatever, Sissy Lala type stuff. Exactly. No pun intended. No pun intended.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
No, if you're watching this, if you know, you know. There was no pun intended on that, I swear. No, but if it's up to Kyler Murray what he's doing right now, and if he's being a diva about it, I don't think he deserves the driver's seat. Unless you're getting your team to the NFC Championship, or you're getting to the Super Bowl, or deep in the playoffs. He choked in the playoffs hard. He's not in the position to be calling the shots. Nope. He's not. He thinks one good season, he's deserved. Granted, he's had some decent seasons, but he thinks after this season, making it to the playoffs, he deserves to be in the driver's seat. He doesn't. And wherever he ends up, I really don't even care. He's a decent quarterback. He's quick. He's tiny. But honestly, don't even care where he ends up. He's not in the driver's seat. He's not a, grade A quarterback. Like I think we all have our grade A quarterbacks at a certain tier. He's not up there yet. He doesn't deserve to be calling the shots. If he wants to be a diva about it, let him be a diva about it. But I don't care where he ends up, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, I don't either. And I see your guys' division, and you guys have one of the toughest divisions out there, NFC West has always been tough since the past, 2 years, 4 years, maybe, and
a little longer. Yeah.
It's a tough division, most likely you see Seattle in there, you see the 49ers in there, you see most likely the Rams, you see what they've been doing. They've been making the playoffs almost every year, and I don't know what's up with Murray. I don't understand what he's trying to do. I don't know if he's trying to make a point to the organization or anything. If he wants out, if you want out, fucking tell them.
Yeah, get out. You're not. Yeah.
And you don't be the cancer to the team and bring down the team. You guys just won. I understand. You're frustrated. You guys got embarrassed in that first round. You guys got embarrassed. Take it like a man. Take it like how you're supposed to be. It's the pros. It's not college anymore. You can't bitch and complain and go into the transfer portal and go somewhere else. You gotta suck it up, be a man, deal with your problems, and dude, why don't you do the same thing that a lot of quarterbacks have done? Suck it up and come back strong next season.
Yeah,
put up the numbers showing you guys, all of us, wrong. Telling us that you're not a half a season quarterback and you're a full season quarterback and you should be up there with the elite quarterbacks up there. You need to prove a point. At this point now, because if you're going to do all this diva crap, you're going to be a cancer to the team. And the next thing you know, you're going to be traded to the Jags and being a backup for Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, no. And I think the thing with the Cardinals is, tell me why it's a reoccurrence, but why do they always get diva quarterbacks? You know who I'm thinking of immediately
Carson
when I think
Palmer.
of no.
Josh
I'm
Allen.
thinking
Josh
Josh
Rosen.
Allen.
Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen. Thank you. Yes, Josh Rosen. You know, his whole little drafting that he said, where's he at now? Haven't even
I
talked
don't
about
even
him.
know where he's even at. He was with us last year.
Exactly. And if Kyler Murray wants to continue on that path to doing something like that, let him. You
Yeah,
know,
and it's not like he doesn't even have good receivers or anyone. He has DeAndre Hopkins. They signed Zach Ertz. They have a
they
whole
have a
mess
lot
of
of
good. They
weapons.
have a lot of weapons, and the fact that he's over here, doing the shit that he's doing and complaining about what's going on and stuff is like, dude, if you're not showing up on the field, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then why are you even complaining? You know,
Yeah.
like I think it's just dumb for the fact that he's over here doing the shit that he's doing and taking off his freaking post about all his Cardinals crap. I don't think.
Yeah.
All right. This last quarterback, we gotta make it. Oh, well.
We'll be right back. We got to do. I think I'm having some technical difficulties on my end, so we'll be right back.
All right. Sorry about that. It was our end. We didn't mean anything to happen. We're
Yeah.
out
Fix
here.
your damn Wi-Fi.
Sorry, we're out
Just
here in
kidding,
the
I'm just
spirit.
kidding.
It's hard to get connection out here. But all right. Continuing back to what we were talking about. We're gonna jump into a team where we think who needs a quarterback or where do you think a quarterback should land. Um, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're Ben Roethlisberger just retired, and they don't really have a quarterback who's gonna,
Mason
a franchise
Rudolph.
quarterback. But
Mason Rudolph.
I don't know about Mason Rudolph.
No.
Who do you guys think the Pittsburgh Steelers should sign?
I mean, having such quarterback for so long, granted Roethlisberger didn't do too hot. I mean, he won a Super Bowl, right?
1,
Two.
2 Super Bowls.
Against the Cardinals and then against who else did they? The Bears?
No.
No.
What they win? What they win against?
Or
I know
whatever.
they have. They
2
have
Super Bowls.
Yeah, he has
Granted.
two
two
Super
Super
Bowls.
Bowls. We don't know. Sorry, Steeler fans. We're sorry
Yeah,
out there.
I don't pay
You
attention to that
hit
too
us in
well.
the comments and tell us how many you guys Super Bowls you got. You guys brag about Super Bowls and shit. Whatever.
That's the only thing you guys brag
I'll
about.
brag about because I have more Super Bowls than them.
Nah, but if they're that desperate to get a new quarterback in, start pitching ideas to Aaron Rodgers. Start pitching ideas to guys who are unhappy in their situations.
Kyler Murray, dude.
Kyler Murray too.
Imagine.
I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers would look ugly in black and gold. I don't think it would work.
Black and yellow.
No, but
Caca. The fucking
but
killer bees.
no, but like if they're that desperate to get another quarterback in there with a franchise quarterback that they could build around, I think Aaron Rodgers is a good fit for Pittsburgh just because they have weapons. As much people dog on Juju Smith-Schuster or Chris Claypool.
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent this.
He's a free
Well,
agent this upcoming year.
Hey, Juju, if you're watching this, Seattle, SC background, but no, but I think if they can re-sign those guys and they can get a high tier quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or Kyler Murray, they should be okay. They're not gonna sink too far down. They should be okay. Those are some guys they should be focusing on. And granted, if they're focusing on the draft, make sure that you get a quarterback that you think will last for a while, because a lot of quarterbacks in these last couple drafts have just plummeted off the face of the earth.
No, yeah, exactly, dude. And Pittsburgh is a franchise team. They're a household name. They're up there for a reason. But I don't. You need a quarterback to stay up there with Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Baker Mayfield. He has his problems. He's injury prone. But at the end of the day, he's a good quarterback. He's not the greatest quarterback. He's not elite level. He's not a Tom Brady. He's not Aaron Rodgers. But he could get you to the playoffs. He could get you to the playoffs. I know I'm getting off topic, but I don't know. Pittsburgh has a lot of options out there. There's a good quarterback. There's a good quarterback, outlet out there, and I think, honestly, I'd like to see Deshaun Watson out there.
That's what I was gonna point out.
Deshaun Watson. I know he has his sexual his Bill Cosby scandals right now.
Bill Cosby scandal.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. But they say he gets relief off all his charges and everything. Deshaun Watson, I think he'd be a good fit, dude. That's another Lamar Jackson, but he's a quarterback that can throw. Deshaun Watson is a good. He carried the Texans to that playoff that one season. You see the potential on what he has if he has a good team around him. you know, and then you never know if maybe they'll go into the draft looking for a quarterback, you know. It's not a big quarterback draft this season, you know, but there's some quarterbacks out there that can possibly, be a rising star. And I don't know, Mishu, I don't know what's his first name.
I don't even know.
Gardner,
Yeah, yeah,
Gardner Minshew.
Minshew,
Gardner
you give him a chance, you know.
That's a fun name to say, Minshew.
But honestly,
Minshew.
uh, no, I don't think Mason Rudolph's their answer. You know, he got bitched by fucking Miles Garrett.
Homie's still recovering.
Still a
Hey,
concussion. Still a concussion.
sources tell me that he still stutters his words. I'm just kidding.
No, yeah. I don't think Mason Rudolph's their answer, and I think they need to go find a quarterback that's gonna carry them. Maybe Tua, maybe Deshaun Watson, maybe trade for somebody, or you go into this draft, or maybe we'll see Pittsburgh on a decline these next couple years, and they're gonna be in a rebuilding phase for a while, and that's gonna be scary for Pittsburgh. You know, all the Pittsburgh Mafia and whatever the Steelers Mafia. I'm sorry. Don't come kill me, please.
Damn.
No, yeah. No, I just they need to find a quarterback ASAP. Like it really quick if they want to stay up there because they have a tough division too with Joe Burrow on the rise. Lamar Jackson was hurt.
But they still play
But they
good.
still play good. You know, they made it. Well, they didn't make it to the playoffs,
No,
but
they
dude,
they had chances though.
and Baker's always gonna be there if he's still there. So they need a quarterback to stay in that division, and if they want to win another AFC North championship.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. I think, Sammy, said this one. I think Deshaun Watson will probably be one of probably the best fit for them. I think so. He has a lot of he has a lot to play for. He has to play for the last couple seasons, but I think Deshaun Watson could be a good fit. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed our video. We hope you guys can go like and subscribe on our TikTok, Twitter,
Go follow
Instagram.
that Instagram.
Yeah, go follow our Instagram. We'll be posting weekly. Um, but we hope you guys like our videos, and we'll see you guys in our next podcast.
Peace.